Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Divine. All right, man, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, man. So, in the lieu of Modern Warfare 2 being in the current state that it's in, with it being buggy, and since Warzone 2 dropped, there's been server-side lag issues, and it's just a plethora of stuff that's been going on. So, a lot of people say when you're complaining about a game, they say, oh, well, go play something else. We don't care. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. Whenever Battlefield 2K42 was having its issues, I decided to just put the game down and let them get it all sorted out because, honestly, if I'm being completely honest here, I trust DICE before I trust Infinity Ward of getting their act together. You know what I mean? Because I know that they're capable of doing it. So I've been picking up 2K42 Battlefield. That is, I've been picking that back up, man. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed it. You know what I mean? Like, aside from it having its rocky start, you know what I mean, they've kind of actually recovered, and it's looking better than what it was before. And I know a lot of y'all don't too much cut for Battlefield, and I understand. I know the content was lacking. They didn't have a whole lot of weapons at launch. I understand. I get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Infinity Ward is kind of having the same issue. You know what I mean? If not more. But we're not gonna get into that. Well, yes, we are. So I remember I was playing it or whatever, and Battlefield happened to add some of the weapons from Portal, because Portal is supposed to have some of the older Battlefields all put into 2042, like Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 1942, and then 2042, and they have it all in Portal, and they have like certain weapons from different eras of said Battlefield, and they added those Portal weapons into what they call a Portal Vault, or they call the Vault, whatever, but you can unlock these weapons to play with on the base 2042. You know what I mean? So I wanna showcase something, because when I seen this, I really thought that this was like crazy, and I tell people all the time that DICE does better than Infinity Ward, and I know it's wild saying that because I really like rock with Infinity Ward. Not right now, but at a point in time, Infinity Ward is really holding it down. But I'm kind of seeing how DICE is intaking the community or holding the community down versus how Infinity Ward is doing it. So these two screenshots I'm gonna show you the said weapons that I was talking about from the Portal Vault or the Vault, and the M13 being unlocked via DMZ, right? I want to show you these two screenshots and tell me, can you see the difference, or what is one doing that the other isn't? Or what is one doing that the other one isn't? I'm gonna give you a second. All right, time's up. Okay, so if you look at the Battlefield 2042 screenshot, it says in order for you to unlock this weapon, you have to use this weapon or a relative weapon to this, whatever we said to use, get kills and or assists, whichever one, get a certain amount of those combined, hit this certain limit or level or whatever, and then there's a second objective to that. Complete that and you get that weapon. If you go look at the DMZ unlock, it says you're only able to unlock it on DMZ if you go kill the chemist, or the other way that we normally do is just drop it and then go exfil. But either way, if you realize DICE is making it to where you don't have to play Hazard Zone, you don't have to play Portal, you don't have to play only base 2042, you don't have to only play those modes. You play whatever mode you feel most comfortable playing. You know what I mean? Whether it's Hazard Zone, Portal, or base 2042, whatever the case is, you play whatever you want, whether it's Rush, Domination, Conquest, TDM, whatever it is, play whatever you feel comfortable playing. But if you want to unlock these said weapons, just use those, do this with them, and then you'll unlock it. No problem. You see what I'm saying? Infinity War, on the other hand, nope, you got to only play DMZ, kill the chemist, and then that's how you get the M13. You see what I'm saying? Do you now see how... Do you see how DICE is really letting us play the way we want to play? Do you see how Infinity Ward is only allowing us to play DMZ? I mean, they're only allowing us to unlock the M13 if we play DMZ, a mode that is super underwhelming, that has no benefit to the user whatsoever, other than unlocking the gun that they put inside of a mode that is pretty much lackluster. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see the correlation? DICE really actually is listening to the community. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm gonna draw you to this next point. I remember Battlefield 5 that came out, and this is like maybe sometime later on down the line, right? I don't know if it was maybe maybe a few months after or maybe a year after. I don't remember, but I do remember this part. So I remember when DICE called themselves trying to implement a new time to kill. Now, I don't remember if it was higher or lower, but it was solely different than what the normal time to kill was in Battlefield. It was different from the classic Battlefield time to kill. So they was like, okay, guys, we've implemented a new time to kill. Let us know what you think. Let us know in Reddit, the comment section or whatever. Let us know in the polls, whatever, right? So out of yes and no, no just completely overshadowed the yes. So everybody didn't like the new time to kill. Now, what did DICE do? Okay, y'all, no problem. We reverted the regular time to kill back as it was before. Sorry about that. We just wanted to try out something. But however, if you do make a custom server, you have the ability to add that time to kill to it if you want to. Do whatever you want to do. But we just wanted to try something. We apologize and thank y'all for y'all's input. Cool. No problem. No problem at all whatsoever. Right? Bet. Infinity War, on the other hand, we all wanted hardcore. Hardcore mode was what we wanted. Right? So before a quote unquote hardcore mode came out, they were calling it tier 1. Now we just thought that they were just pretty much remodeling hardcore, the mode, and calling it tier 1 to add more of a, you know, a spec ops approach to it, or add more of a lethal name to it, whatever the case was. So they decide to bring in tier 1, and it's practically realism mode for Modern Warfare 19, but they're trying to pass it off as hardcore. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not hardcore. Realism mode in Modern Warfare 19 and hardcore mode in Modern Warfare 19 were two separate, totally different modes. Totally different. Hardcore still had the regular interface, maybe just a little bit limited, but you still had the hit markers. You still had, you had the score being counted or whatever. You still had some HUD. It wasn't completely gone. It was still there. You had your regular hit markers like you would normally see, and the health was significantly cut down to the point where I could run around with a pistol and just one tap everybody if I wanted to. That's where the health was. That's what hardcore was. When you play realism mode, they literally cut it completely to where you have no HUD whatsoever. You're only focusing on what's in front of you. The UAV might pop up, the mini map might pop up with a UAV. Other than that, that's about it. You have nothing else. You have nothing else to gauge what exactly is an indicator. Nothing else, right? And then same as that time, the time to kill was the same as core, but the only difference is you had a headshot multiplier that was double, so it made it to where you had a one-shot headshot. That's literally what realism mode was. So what did Infinity War do when we said we wanted hardcore? They give us realism mode, and they're trying to pass it off as hardcore. I've had several guys jump into a game and say that, oh, this is hardcore. No, it's not. This is not hardcore. This is realism mode from 2019. That's exactly what it is. How many of y'all asked for realism mode? I know I didn't. I know a lot of people didn't. This is not the hardcore mode that we asked for. We wanted hardcore, not tier 1, not realism mode. We didn't ask for that. It was a cool little addition, but I don't think that that's what a lot of the fan base meant by hardcore. We wanted an actual true hardcore mode, not that tier 1 shit. We didn't ask for that. Now, I say to y'all again with those 2 points I presented to y'all, which side is really listening to the community? DICE or Infinity Ward? Now, I'm going to let you take that up with whatever you want. But the real answer is it's right there in front of you. If you don't see it, then you're pretty much just taking up for Infinity Ward, trying to right their wrongs when they're dead wrong. There's nothing you can do or say to try to cover up for what they've done. They've popped up short every single time. They've come up short every single time. So how can you sit here and say that, oh, they're listening to us, when clearly they make a weapon that from last year that was easily unlockable. Well, it was already unlocked, but you just had to level up. But weapons that were able to be unlocked, you were able to go to whatever mode it was that you wanted to play on multiplayer and still was able to unlock it, or you can go play Warzone and do whatever you want. You had different options of unlocking a locked weapon. You just had to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? I remember the LMG. I forget what LMG it was, but I remember you had to get a certain amount of kills and you had to do it next to or in the proximity of a smoke grenade. So Just imagine a shipment with smoke grenades popped everywhere. Just think of it like that. You see what I'm saying? But either way, you still had multiplayer to go in here and unlock these weapons. You could buy the bundle and unlock the weapon. Blueprint of it, you didn't unlock the base, but if you wanted to unlock the base, you had a certain objective to cover. Modern Warfare 2, nope. We're gonna take the M13 and lock it only down into DMZ. That's the only way you can get it. Or, the other way that we did it, we just dropped it and then we just exfilled. But again, who's listening to the community? Who's really truly listening to the community? DICE or Infinity Ward? Obviously, they made a weapon only unlockable in DMZ that you can't unlock in multiplayer when you should be able to, because they did it last year. And at the same as that time, excuse me, and at the same as that time, DICE allows you to do whatever you want. They allow you to play whatever mode that you want. They're not locking you down to that. We asked for a hardcore mode. They gave us realism mode, but try to call it tier 1 and write it off as hardcore. Battlefield 5, they tried to change the time to kill. We said, no, we didn't like it. They reverted right back to the classic time to kill and said, my fault. If you want to use it, it's in the custom servers. Do as you please. We apologize. Come on, man. Like it's night and day. You know what I'm saying? But I think people have these nostalgia glasses on and they don't want to admit the fact that when it comes down to an actual team of developers listening to the community, they don't want to give DICE the flowers. They don't want to give them their flowers. They want to sit here and run with what's popular. It's not about what's popular, ladies and gentlemen. It's about what's right. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below, man. I'm telling y'all, DICE really is actually listening to the community. They're giving us what we want. It might not be right away, but they're giving us exactly what we want versus Infinity Ward. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below, man. Go on and get up out of here. Appreciate a lot of support y'all for showing the videos, man, most definitely. Make sure to like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.